Alrighty. Welcome, 3 people who are able to pick up and start playing with an hour's notice. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate that you also have no life.
I have a life. School starts tomorrow. For now, though, I guess this is one of my last hurrahs on the short term. Well, I'll probably be doing more short term as my schedule gets more packed. In any event, this is DDEX2... Ooh, we got a 4th person coming in. This is DDEX2-12 Dark Rites at Fort Dalton. Some of you may have played this before. If not, this this adventure... Hello. We were just getting started.
Sorry about that. I kind of forgot to the crap, but the most inconvenient time, of course.
No problem. We were literally just starting, so you're right on time. Where was I? Ah, yes. This adventure presupposes... Actually, let me just read it to you, so you guys can experience it. Okay. You find yourselves near the edge of the ruins of Fort Dalton. If local rumors are true, the ruins are home to worshippers of a forbidden god. You, however, are here in search of bandits. Rumor, from far-off Mulemaster, is that merchant barges and fisherfolk have been waylaid on the River Lys and the River Dalton near the ruins. For some of you, gold may have been the draw to take on the dangers that these bandits portray. For others, however, the ruins of Fort Dalton are rumored to hold many things of value lost and forgotten. What drew you to stop the bandits? Who is interested in arcane secrets and crumbled towers? And at this point you can actually tell me whether you're interested in arcane secrets and crumbled towers.
Oh, that would probably be Bane's.
Oh yeah. Just in case it's not clear, what we're doing here is we're establishing our own individual adventure hooks. So try to get a feel for what it is you are looking for in the ruins, and we'll try to incorporate that into the story. Alright, what about holy texts in blasted shrines?
Dalton or Emmerich would be interested in that.
Okay. What about forgotten knowledge buried deep in secret places? Perhaps you instead seek a loved one, mentor, or other person of note who was taken by these bandits.
That'll be me. Heard him.
Alright. I believe we have one person who has not yet responded. Perhaps none of these things concern him. Rather, he is concerned with ancient treasures buried amongst the rubble.
Booyah.
Alright, so Poe is looking for ancient treasure. Emmerich is looking for forgotten knowledge.
Holy text.
Holy text. And Furtum is looking for a loved one. And Banesless is looking for arcane secrets. Alright. For Banesless, you've read that Fort Dalton was particularly active in the arcane ways. It was known that several powerful arcanists made their home in the fort, and you have in your possession an old map that has a few of these locations marked. You hope to find one in your journey into the fort. For Emmerich, a Dawnbringer, interesting. Let's see here. God, it's a Lathander, of course. Okay, for Emmerich, you are aware that the Lord of Fort Dalton venerated many gods, and to show his support of the myriad gods worshipped across Faerun, he built a grand temple and a library to house a massive collection of holy texts. Unlike the library that was open for all to see, the library of Dalton's religious library was in a secret location. When the dragons razed Fort Dalton, all who knew the library's location were killed in a blaze of draconic fury. Members of the Church of Lathander have tasked you with finding these lost holy texts.
And I probably accept the challenge.
Alrighty. For Furtim, who is searching for a loved one, or a mentor, or someone in a similar... So who are you looking for, Furtim? Who's missing from your life?
You can see the notes on my character sheet. Let me be looking for one of my retainers.
Okay. Ooh. Are you a drow?
No, human.
But you worship Illustrate. Interesting. Okay, just you're quickly glancing over your notes. It's fine. Okay. Ooh, interesting. I like it. Oh, you even have backstories for all your retainers. Nice. Which one's missing?
How about Adia?
The day is missing? Okay. One of your retainers, Adea, has gone missing recently, and the bandits on the river lease seem to be likely suspects. There are rumors of cults worshipping dark gods in the ruins of Fort Dalton. And you hope your loved one hasn't fallen to them, and they're just being held for ransom by the bandits. Okay. You may need to remind me of this, but each time you meet a prisoner or an undead creature, roll a d20, and it may be the person you're looking for.
Alright.
Oh, I just noticed that. We've had people do the searching for a loved one before, but I've never noticed this fact, that it could be even one of the undead creatures you encounter could be your missing loved one.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, let's hope that's not true. In any event, for Poe, Fort Dalton was once quite wealthy, and you've been told that if one digs enough, there are all manner of hidden gems and gold just waiting for the taking. Alright, now that we have our backstories established, let's go ahead and introduce ourselves. You all will be making your way toward the Fort Dalton, not necessarily together, but you will eventually converge, determine that you have common purpose in exploring the ruins, and probably have some time to share some things about yourselves. So let's go ahead and, Poe, introduce yourself to the party, please.
Hello, I'm Poe. I'm a fighter that specializes in tanking, and I am often referred to by my friends as the Mighty Poe, and some have said that I'm unkillable. I don't say that, but some have said it.
Alright, thank you. Let's go ahead to Banesless now.
I am a diviner that doesn't speak much and relies on learning most of my information, the chains of fate.
Alright. Furtum.
I'm Furtum. I was the slave to the Drow in the Underdark. I escaped, and I'm looking to rescue one of the companions who escaped alongside me.
Alrighty. And Dawnbringer?
Dominic Emmerich, fairly new to adventuring. He is a devout worshiper of Lathander. He constantly is talking about his hero, Whitehorn, who announced Lathander's return to the realms during the Thundering. And he tends to help anybody, good or bad, as long as they're human and human allies. So, there it is.
Stead is your hero, isn't he like 10 years old?
Well, he was chosen nonetheless.
Alrighty. I think it takes a man with a lot of confidence to idolize a 10-year-old.
That's right.
Alright, so, as you meet up on the road to Fort Dalton, you are able to determine that you have a choice of your approach. Just a little setting information. Unseasonable storms have been swamping the region in layers of water and mud as of late. In fact, the rain has continued unabated for days along your travel. It ranges from light drizzles to sudden tempest with mighty winds, but it continues without stop. As such, the rivers leading to Fort Dalton are fat and swollen with rainwater and exceptionally sluggish and dark with churned sediment. The paths along the rivers are naturally bogged down by mud, and there are also rumors of bandits about. So you have your choice of how to approach the fort. You can either take a barge, which will spare you from the mud and potentially from any bandits lurking in the woods, and just kind of drift down the river toward the fort, which may take a little longer. Or you can try to slog through the muddy banks next to the river to reach the fort as well. That may be a little quicker, but you may be susceptible to bandit attack. And of course, the ever-present rain is plaguing both routes. So right now the party needs to make a choice. Do you want to take a barge or walk it?
I want to slug it out since I'm
I want to
looking for
slog it
bandits.
out too. Bandits don't scare the mighty foe.
Plus my cloak has endure elements, so...
Alright, that's 2 for slogging it out. We just need one more person to vote.
I'll follow them since they're bandits that perhaps will need my assistance.
Alrighty. So the party decides to traverse the banks. You guys are slogging along the banks. The mud is pretty deep. There is a trail, but it is similarly bogged down. And I have a map. Let me open it up.
And you said it's overcast skies right now?
Yes, the skies are overcast, casting everything in dim light at the moment. And it is, if anyone's a wood elf, there is enough rain for you to hide in the rain. Alright, Bainsolus gathers a premonition of the events to come. Alright, I'm putting you guys on the road. You are heading from east to west. So, you guys are now at the far end, or at the rear of the map, I suppose. So there's kind of a dirt gravel trail in front of you that is swamped with water, and there's a wide swath of mud leading down to the river, which, contrary to this picture, is actually much browner, brown-greener, with the sediment and rainwater. So I'll let you guys establish a... Oh, dang it, I keep doing that. These are the wrong tokens. I need to use these tokens. I'll let you guys establish a marching order.
Alright, Poe always leads.
Well, I'd like to scout if I can.
Alright.
That's fine, just stay near me so I can aid you if the combat ensues.
I'm pretty tough in my own right.
I presume you want to scout stealthily, so roll a stealth check.
Yes.
Move yourself ahead as far as you want to be ahead of them, and roll a perception check once you arrive at your scouting position. Alright,
I
your
have a cloak of elvenkind.
yes,
so
I saw that. Your cloak shifts to become the color of rain-covered leaves, and you disappear into the forest. Alright, go ahead and move your token, move your token to a good scouting position. That's not a scouting position, that's only 10 feet in front of the lead. I'm a scout with a short leash. Alright, let's see. Okay.
Oh, advantage on stealth checks will never ever get old. That is pretty good.
I know, it's an amazing item. Additionally, it also has a like a permanent endure elements effect on it.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, the vanilla Cloak of Elvenkind doesn't have such an effect on it, but the one that is particular to the expeditions does. It protects you from temperatures as cold as 0 degrees Fahrenheit and as hot as 120, I believe. Alright, just setting some things up. Is that your marching order? Poe leading the way, Scout, or Furtum scouting ahead, furtively, and Dawnbringer and Bainsolus bringing up the rear.
Yeah, I'll go directly behind Poe.
Alrighty, let's see. Okay. Furtum, you scout ahead. The rain somewhat obscures your vision, but you otherwise, you nonetheless don't see anything. Just more rain, more. There are some tall reeds on the banks of the river, but oh, just to note, those reeds are fairly tall. They come up to about your chin if you're a medium-sized creature. But nothing on, no bandits lurking in the forest as far as you can tell. Nothing coming along the road in front of you. All appears well.
Fair enough.
And you can start, you can all start moving along the road as you desire. Just traipsing along.
Banesless? Coming?
Alright, Poe, just as you finish calling to Banesless, you hear something. It sounded like something was rustling in the reeds to the south.
The south, okay, I convey that to the others loudly.
Let's start the scan in that general direction.
Alright. Give me a perception check.
Oh, or somebody else.
Anyone who said they were looking in that direction can give me a perception check.
Thanks.
Alright, you both start scanning in that direction, but you don't see anything. Until the reeds suddenly part, and two hideous creatures come charging out of them, straight toward you. Arms, clawed arms flailing and long tongues dangling from their mouths. Roll initiative. Here's a picture of what they look like.
Do I recognize these creatures?
Give me an Arcana check.
I've faced them previously, so can I just automatically know what they are? Or?
Yes, if you faced them before, you know that they are Lacedons. Water ghouls. These are particularly nasty looking. They each have flayed skin that leaks dirty, bloody water as they charge toward you. Alright. Furtim, from your scouting position, you immediately see what's going on and respond the fastest.
I will dash towards them.
Okay?
What's 60 feet here?
Each square is 5 feet.
Also, watch out, they do paralyze.
He can't hear you if you're talking like that.
I'll aim to get to about here.
You need to shout that warning, Poe. Look out! Their claws paralyze!
The mighty Poe never gets excited.
Okay.
I mean, maybe if there were like 2 dragons, sure, but 2 measly ghouls.
Furtim dashes into the fray, getting as close as he can in what little time he has before this Lacedon charges forward. To strike at the Dawnbringer.
He probably doesn't come within 10 feet of me, right?
No, he does not. Alright, it lashes its claws out against Emmerich, striking him painfully.
Ooh.
Ooh. And per Poe's warning, you immediately notice that Emmerich his muscles begin to form into a rictus, and he can not move. He stands stuck still like a statue. Banesless.
Alright, 1 second. Well, doesn't he get a saving throw against paralyzation?
He did, and he failed it. Oh, I clicked the button that makes you do the saving throw, kind of like you players do to the monsters.
Okay, 1 second. Can I have a ball of fire token?
Yep. Let me get that out. Yeah, stupid lag. Where'd it go? Was it under flame or fire? I think it was under flame. Dang it, lag! Stop it! Nope, that's not it. What did I have that under? Oh well, we'll just use this flame skull.
That's good.
I had a better looking token, I just can't find it. Alright, Banesless summons a ball of flame and rams it into the ghoul.
And then I run behind the others and be like, oh, deal with those guys.
Not a problem.
Excuse me, mighty.
Alright, Dawnbringer Emmerich, give me a con save.
And while this is happening, I'm just thinking to myself, left hand is only touching my face right now.
And right now, the ghoul tests your constitution, and you pass with flying colors. You are no longer paralyzed, but that was at the end of your turn. So it is, let me remove the paralysis effect. It is now Lastodon 9's turn, who's going to charge up 1, 2, 3, 4, and try to strike the mighty Poe with its claws.
You'll find that virtually impossible.
Yep, that would appear to be the case. Its claws just rake screechingly against your armor, and it gnashes at you with its teeth, unable to get into the tin can. Mighty Poe!
Does it intimidate him that I don't even bother to laugh because it didn't even register on my radar?
No. It is an undead creature, it is not intimidated. Which reminds me, Poe, you need to roll 2 d20s.
How come?
One of these might be your missing loved one. Oh no, you're the treasure. Who is the...
Yeah.
Ferdum, go ahead and roll 2 d20s. Okay, thankfully neither of these undead creatures is your missing loved one.
Okay, I believe I just missed royally.
Yep.
And that's my turn. Mighty Poe is famous for missing a lot, but
Alright,
also
I'm
taking
going to step up and use the bonus action to shield bash Lastodon 9. That's an opposed athletics check, or he goes prone.
Okie
I
dokie.
don't know why that happened with advantage. It shouldn't have been with advantage.
It's because you must have double clicked it.
Oh,
I'll just take the first one. Let's see. Okay, he failed.
Alright, then I will attack with advantage.
Alright. That's a hit.
I guess I should target him.
Yeah. Alright, and he is slashed by your whip. Are you a dominant furtive? Just knocked him down and then whipped him. Alright, Lastodon 4 is going to move up here. And is going to try to bite Dawnbringer Emmerich. Come on, bite. Alright, and it just throws itself at Emmerich, who is able to deflect it before its teeth find purchase in his skin. Banesless. And I believe if he ends his turn near the sphere, something happens. Alright. He gets scorched as he does not move out of the flaming sphere.
Then I will, as a bonus action, hit him again with the flaming spear on my turn.
Alrighty. And the flaming sphere rears back and slams into the Lastodon for even further fire damage.
Does he happen to be wearing metal armor? I doubt it. But
No. Your shocking grasp nonetheless hits. Alright, and as the creature reels from the shock, he loses his ability to react spontaneously, and is not able to lash out at you as you escape his grasp.
9 should still be prone until his turn.
He is prone.
Alright, Emmerich grabs his amulet around his neck of Lathander and closes his eyes and whispers to himself, "May Lathander's light shine on me," and casts Cure Wounds on himself.
Alrighty.
Let me target him for a second.
A single sliver of sunlight pierces through the cloud cover above and shines upon your face, and your wounds begin to spontaneously close. And then as quickly as it came, the clouds snuff out that little spot of light.
Did you add your wisdom bonus to that?
Looks like it did. 6 plus 2.
I already had +3.
Yeah, no, the +2 is from the... Yeah, it's not adding that. Let me check that. The +2 is from the light domain.
Oh, you're a life domain cleric.
Which by itself should be +3, because 2 plus the spell level.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me check
I made a
that.
mistake on that when I set my character up one time.
Yeah, that's right. I gotta add the level manually. Good call on that one.
Yeah. So you should actually get another 4 hit points.
Yeah, I should be maxed out, basically.
Yeah. Alright, Lastodon 9 is going to stand up, and is going to try to dominate Ferdum.
What? Poe is like just taunting him.
Yeah, but Ferdum is the one who just knocked him down and then whipped him. In any event, it missed. Poe,
Sweet. Okay.
this is an undead creature. It doesn't care for your taunts.
About to.
It doesn't care for your longsword either.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and use a superiority die to hit him with. Precision attack.
Okay.
So do I just drop an arrow on him again?
Let's see if this works. Click the... now drag that attack roll in the chat window onto the Lastodon again.
The original one or the new one?
The original one. Oh, you just applied the attack to the Lastodon rather than to yourself.
Okay, so I'll just roll this on the thing here.
Okay.
Or... Okay.
There you go.
Got it. Okay, and then now...
Now try dragging. Yeah. If you left... Yeah. Oh, no, it didn't add it. It doesn't add it. Oh, or did it?
Well, it hit him this time.
Oh, it's because before you were targeting yourself with your longsword.
No, I definitely dropped it on him. Oh wait, it does say Poe.
Yeah, it does say at Poe.
Okay, well in either case, I rolled a 12 originally.
Uh-huh. Which was actually a hit in the first place.
Okay, well in that case, I still am going to use the superiority die. I'll use distracting strike instead.
Okay.
So now I'm going to lay that on him, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay, and then I'll also...
I think you lay that on yourself.
Yeah,
Oh, no, you lay the damage on yourself. Like I said earlier, it's damage that you deal, not damage that you take.
Okay, so I'm putting it on myself. Got it? Okay, now I'm going to roll the damage dice, and I apologize for this thing.
No problem. It's unfortunate that the attack thing doesn't work out the way I hoped it would.
No. How do I add the damage? Okay, so...
It will automatically add, you just roll the damage as you would normally.
Well, normally this does it as part of the attack action, right?
You click the little button that looks like a blood symbol. Or, you're doing a weapon damage roll, so you click the button that's next to the attack button. Poe. In your Actions tab, under the Weapons heading, you have your longsword, and there's a button that has a big black D20 symbol in it. You want to click the button next to that that says 1d8 plus 3 slashing.
Okay. Got it. Okay, now I understand. Wow, this is not that complex really, but...
Alright!
And I'll use an action surge as well, because I want to get this guy there.
Okay.
Again, most likely causing more chaos.
That's a hit.
Okay. Okay, well, it shouldn't have added the other damage again.
Yeah. Oh.
Was he killed without the extra +5?
He was. To make sure it doesn't add it again, you need to change the expend. You need to change the expend setting to on next roll. On that damage thing. In any event, 2 quick slashes of your longsword have downed this Lacedon.
There, past turn while I readjust. I apologize, guys.
Very cool. Alright, so I'll get into that position and shield bash Lacedon number 4.
Okay.
Poe, that may not be the best place to go.
Oh, why? What are you doing?
It's on fire.
There's a ball of fire that you're standing next to.
Okay.
If you move there, you'll take damage at the end of your turn.
Okay. Same distance, I'll move to this top one. I just wanted to be in range of this guy.
Alright, Lacedon 4 failed its athletics check. And is thrown to the ground. And Ferdam whips it good. Further flaying its flabby flesh. And it dies, finally. Couldn't think of an F word that means to die. Nope. Still can't think of it. In any event, you have laid low the Lacedons.
Hammer stares out at these creatures and says aloud, what sort of unholy creature is this?
Poe knows what it is and can enlighten you.
Yeah, these appear to be Lacedons. I've faced them in previous encounters. They're a dangerous form of ghoul that swims and then jumps out and bites you and occasionally paralyzes. I've never felt this pain, of course, because, well, as many would say, I'm invincible. I never say that, by the way, but many have said it.
I look at our post suspiciously.
I think we should examine the corpses, see if there's anything we could put to better use.
Looking over the corpses, they are little more than bodies. They are wearing very little clothing, and what they are wearing is soggy and tattered. Their skin is all torn up and flayed, with the addition of new wounds created by Furtam's whip.
Well, while we inspect this, I'd like to take a short rest if that's feasible for us.
You can attempt to take a short rest?
That's what I'd like to do. I'm asking the party.
I mean, I don't need a rest, but I can keep a lookout while you rest.
Well, if we haven't lost too much stuff,
So
I guess
you
we
see
can
how
continue.
perceptive I am.
Well, you're very stealthy, at least. You're like, well, I'm like, how did they not notice you? Well, it's up to everyone else. I'll get back my action surge and one of my superiority die, but I'm not in any absolute need to resting. But we can probably continue on, honestly.
Alrighty. Continuing on, you...
Well, wait, first let's search these guys. I mean, have we done
Oh,
the
way ahead of you.
Is that...
Yeah, looking them over, there's nothing to be found on them. They're basically naked, undead bodies, except for like little tatters of cloth still clinging to their sodden forms.
Okay. Alright, let's just continue toward the town.
Alright. Continuing along your way, slogging through the mud and muck, you eventually arrive at the edge of the ruins of Fort Dalton. Before you lies a sprawling ruin. Most of the... some of you are aware that this was once a thriving city, but it has long since fallen into disrepair. Most of the buildings are little more than ruined foundations, though a few squat structures peek up above the ruined city, the ruined skyline in the distance. You basically, for the moment, have free range over the city, and you can start venturing in, looking for any various things you want to find. So you guys may want to decide which points of interest you want to try to visit first. I know in particular, Bainsolus has a map, but I don't think the rest of you have any leads other than them. Dawnbringer is aware of the location of a temple that may be worth looking for.
Alright, well, where does the map lead to?
Alright, the map appears to lead some distance into the city, like somewhere near the northwest side. It indicates that there was an Arcanist tower there.
Alright, well, fine to go look at that then.
Okay. Just a moment. Okay.
Emmerich is walking around very jumpy. That's what we're looking down there.
Ah, where'd that thing go? Okay. Heading toward the location of the Arcanist Tower. You arrive without incident. You pass through several buildings that are overgrown with vegetation. There appears to be little left of the fort. But you do come to a curious sight. Before you stands not a tower, but a single iron rod, decorated all over with arcane runes, jutting from what remains of a tower, little more than a stone foundation. The rod is about 6 inches in diameter and about 20 feet tall, but it is curiously bent in the middle and stands at an angle. Though the map indicates there was a tower here at one time, there is little more than this simple protrusion from the earth.
Let's step up and take a look at it.
Alright. You can see on the rod that it is covered in arcane markings, though they appear faded and worn. And if you touch your hand to them, you do not feel the tingling sensation of magic. It appears whatever power this place once held has long since dissipated.
I'm ask you a quick question. So my guy knows there is a temple here, but I don't know where it is, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Check something.
So is there anything other than this hole here in front of us?
There is that pole and just like a few piles of rubble around the edge of the foundation.
Like proper adventures, we'll search the rubble and...
Alright, investigation checks.
Poe specializes in that, wanting all his investigation roll.
Wow.
So did we find the pole?
You did find the pole, except Emmerich, who was distracted trying to find the temple. In any event,
I'm gonna trip over more Octodon.
Alright, you guys poke around through the rubble, and you don't find anything of interest except Bainsolus does note something. There is a massive slab of stone lying over what appears to be a stairwell of some kind.
Sweet, let's go check that out.
Alright, it is a massive slab of stone. It would likely take some time to remove it and see where it leads. I.e., this is something you can do in your downtime.
Oh, okay.
Unless you have access to the 5th level spell Telekinesis.
Someone might have a crowbar, but...
But you know what? I won't stop you. It's possible that you actually could move this stone without spending downtime. But the idea behind Fort Dalton, this adventure has several things that you can do in your downtime after you're done exploring it. But you can go ahead and try to move the stone if you want to.
I think it's unlikely that if he is down there.
Alright. Yeah, do what your characters would do naturally. I'm just telling you out of character that you will be able to move it in your downtime. Alright. Poe kind of squats down, gets his hands up under that stone, and just... It didn't budge at all.
Well, if Mighty Poe can move it, most likely it cannot be moved.
Or you would need several men, and maybe even some machinery to remove it.
Alright, well, if you can't go past here, I say we go on to the next landmarks.
Okay. You want to start looking around for the temple?
Yeah, Don says, perhaps we should seek out the temple. Any ancient text we find there related to Lathander surely could help us on our journey.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. You start heading toward the temple, or trying to find the temple at the very least.
And it's not on the map either, right?
It's not on the map, no. Only the tower was indicated on his map. But you just kind of start wandering around the ruins, looking for anything that looks like a temple. Let's see. Alright, you see something of interest, though clearly not a temple. It is a ruin that is distinct from the other ruins that lie about. It looks to be a fountain, but more of an overgrown pond now. Plants and shrubs grow at its edge, and a steady stream of water forms a creek leading from the pond into the ruins. Water struggles out of the crack in fits and starts, but otherwise it looks to be a fountain that has fallen into immense disrepair. This is of interest because it looks like at one time it would have been a grand thing. It is a rather large fountain, though the fountainhead has long since worn away, and the place is overgrown with vegetation.
Any signs of human presence in the area? Tracks leading to the pond, or
give me a perception, or give me a. If you're looking for tracks, give me a perception check. Actually, yeah, just give me a perception check for whatever it is you're looking for. It's always perception to see things.
So the water in this fountain, can we see through it, or is it too murky?
It's murky. It looks like there's a lot of mud gathered up at the bottom. Alright, just a moment. I can't believe I didn't have a map ready for this. For this fountain thing. I think I have one. Are they in here? Alright, Furtum. Looking around, you don't see any tracks, and peering into the fountain you just see, you can occasionally catch sight through the swirling sediment a layer of mud collecting at the bottom from which tall reeds grow. You do, as you're gazing into the pond, you do feel a curious sensation. The hairs on the back of your neck stand up. You feel like you're being watched.
Furtum, do you alert the rest of us?
I think I let you know that this pond is creeping me out, and so we need to be on our way.
See anybody around us, or does it just seem to be coming from the pool itself?
It does not seem to be coming from... It's just a sensation of being watched without direction or focus.
Poe is always very directional and very focused, so there's very little sense to him.
Yeah, perhaps we should be on our way, guys.
I think I have a map that looks like a fountain. Just a moment.
Seeing everybody else alerted and suspicious of this area, Emmerich is getting a little nervous.
Alright, just... Stop it. Stop it. Stop. My system gets laggy when I'm streaming. Okay, that should do. Let's reduce the size.
On the way from where we had the encounter until town, were we able to consider that a short rest or not?
No. No short rest. You have to do nothing more strenuous than, like, meditation or reading a book or something. Slogging through the mud is definitely not a short rest.
Good.
Here's a map. If you scroll over to the, there's like a pool of water, we'll be using that as the fountain. Let me turn the grid on. Come on. A little smaller. Little. There we go. Perfect.
Yeah, I think we're being watched, guys.
And
You know what? I'll take a stone and toss it into the center of the water to see if it seems to.
sorry, just a moment. I'm still setting this up. Come on, faster. Okay.
I'm holding on to my amulet. Playing in whispers to myself.
Alright.
Sweat breaks on my forehead.
Actually, Furtum, as you're gazing into the pond, you notice that some of the mud at the bottom looks like it's moving. And as Poe casts a stone into it, you hear like a sound. And then this pond suddenly erupts with activity as 4 impish creatures arise from the pond, one of them with a stone sticking out of its head.
Sweet. That was a D8 damage stone.
You know what? How hard were you tossing it into the okay, yeah.
It would have just basically rested down on it.
Yeah, just stuck in his... Okay. So these guys launched out of the pond and leap in to attack you. Roll initiative.
Aha!
Not
Not
near
so good this time, guys.
The mighty Slowpoke.
Honestly, it was Poe and I mucking about with the pond. The other guys might be behind us.
Alright, can anyone read what I just typed?
No.
Alright, that means none of you speak their language. You hear them just kind of gurgling in an odd tongue you don't understand, but they launch themselves toward you with clawed hands. Ooh, and they all rolled higher than you guys did. Alright. This first one comes forward, and its small form kind of swells. What looks to be a little belly swells up with a big bubble of mud, and that bubble moves up its esophagus, if such a creature had such an organ, and then a huge burst of mud spews out of its mouth all over you, Furtum. You get to make a dex save.
Hopefully the damage isn't related to the amount of flavor text.
Alright, you failed the dex save. And the mud pours over you and quickly begins to stick to your form, restraining you. Alright, Mud Mephit 8 comes forth and similarly tries to spew mud over Emmerich, who is able to dodge out of the way as a blast of mud comes spewing out of this creature's mouth. Mud Mephit 3 comes forward and similarly tries to vomit upon Bainsless, who is also able to leap out of the way just barely as mud begins coating the ground where he was just standing. Alright, Mud Mephit 5 comes around and lashes against the restrained Furtum with its claw. Oh, with its fists. They have fists. Alright, its fists ball up in thick balls of mud and it slams them against you. Or tries to. You're able to wriggle enough around in the mud that you are able to avoid its hit.
Aha!
Alright, Emmerich.
Alright, Emmerich stumbles a little bit, but finds his footing and swings his mace out of the mud method in front of him. I think. Yeah.
It's like jumping around and stuff. You don't understand its language, but that was clearly a laugh. A goopy, sodden laugh.
I question what I did for the family to deserve this.
Alright, Bainsless.
Okay.
We're making good time. Last party I played this with, we went like 2 hours over.
Oh, wow.
Just
to confirm, because the roll was hidden for me, I had +5 to that dex save. Did it calculate the shield AC bonus?
Oh, let's see.
I think I have it set up to do that, but...
It did add the +5, you just rolled horrendously.
Sure.
But I understand your desire to check when the saves are hidden from you. I have mixed feelings about hiding saves, because if you were playing in real life, you'd be able to see your own rolls. But I also like the idea of hiding it from players, because then they can't... On the one hand, it allows me to spontaneously change things if I feel like it's going really, really poorly for you guys. Also, it doesn't allow you to try to reverse engineer the monster's stats.
Okay, I am going to cast Protection from Good and Evil.
Okay.
Myself, and back away.
Does that work on elementals?
Correct.
Okay. Alright, the Basilisk encapsulates himself in magic, protecting him from beings not native to this plane. And
They can still attack.
they can still make opportunity attacks, they just do so with disadvantage.
Correct.
Alright, they're going to try to. Is it targeting Basilisk? Yep, it's also targeting Furtum. Let's undo that. Disadvantage. And... Muddy Fisticuffs. Alright, that's one miss. I'm just going to keep using this guy instead of having them all target you. And Muddy Fisticuffs. That's a hit. And finally, one more with disadvantage. Muddy Fisticuffs. Did you see that? A 20 and a 1. Oh, I guess you guys can't see it.
We didn't see it.
It was a 20 and a 1. Wow. Alright.
It does say automatic miss, so we knew it was 1.
Yeah. Alright, and Basilisk maintains his concentration on his spell when that one fist was able to slam into him as he passed.
I can attack while restrained, I just have no movement speed, right?
You are also... it automatically does the effects of restrain, but yeah, you have 0 movement speed. You also have disadvantage on attack rolls. It's difficult to move your arms around in the mud, stuck fast as you are.
Alright, well, I'm gonna shield bash this guy.
Alright. The mud sucks at your shield as you try to slam. Who you mud bashing? The one right in front of you?
Method 3.
Method 4. Oh, Method 3. Method 3.
Between, Dawnbringer and myself.
Yeah. Alright, the mud sucks at your shield as you try to slam it against him, and it strikes the creature with little force. It gently depresses against his skin, causing his form to kind of splat out like a mud pancake, but he appears completely unperturbed and just laughs.
Alright, then I'm gonna whip at Method 8.
Okay. Alright, and the mud similarly tugs against your whip, and you're only barely able to get off a little lash, or the method easily dodges it. Mighty Poe!
Okay. So I'm correct in that all the methods, the 3 that were around Basilisk have all used their opportunity attack already, right?
Yes, they have all used their reaction.
I'll move to here so I can aggro more of them, and then I will attack... None of them are damaged, okay. I guess I'll stack up on Method 3 then.
Do I need to use an action to try to get the mud off me, or...?
Yes, you can make a dexterity save. Oh, it's not an action, you can just make a dexterity save. That's the nature of their particular ability.
There we go.
Alright, you are still stuck fast.
Go ahead and use an... too late. Alright, that's good enough for Poe.
Alrighty. Mud Method 4 is going to try to punch Furtum. Punch.
And I'm taunting all of them, by the way.
They would much rather go after the one who is coated in mud. He makes an easier target. Now, if you allow yourself to be coated in mud, they'll come after you. Alright, this one's going to try to punch you.
I thank him while he's punching.
If I can untarget Emmerich. Oh, it's because I have this guy targeted. Man! Oh yeah, your armor class is really high. Okay, he
It's
just...
not easy to hit the mighty bow.
His mud just strikes your armor with a plunk. Mud Method 3 is going to try to punch... Oh, he's right in range of Ferdum. He's going to try to punch Ferdum. Come on, roll. His muddy fist slams into your face, Ferdum, dealing a whopping 7 damage.
Ah.
And Mud Method 5. As your face reels from the first punch, tries to slam you again, but he misses. He miscalculated the turn of your head, I suppose. Dawnbringer Emmerich.
Alright, Emmerich is going to wheel around this method here. Actually, no, wait, because then I'll draw. Never mind, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to, with all my might, barrel my mace down on him again, and hopefully have a better success this time.
Alrighty.
Attack mud method 3 if you can. 8, that's fine too, sure.
Yeah, sorry.
That doesn't matter.
And you did! Your mace slams into it, spreading mud across the area around you. But the creature just simply reforms its body and begins prancing about. Banesless.
Nice.
Alright, I'm gonna shield bash.
Which one?
The one I have targeted, method 3.
Okie dokie. No wait, he can't possibly win that. Alright, he is shield bashed.
Alright, if we have both advantage and disadvantage, and my allies are near, do I get to apply sneak attacks?
You do not, because if you have advantage and disadvantage, they cancel, and you are considered to have neither. And your allies, the allies are near thing only works if you, again, actually, if you do not have disadvantage, doesn't it say? So yeah, I think you can use sneak attack. We can double check that.
Plus, being next to Poe counts as 2.
Well, advantage and disadvantage do not stack; they only cancel. So even if you have 40 advantages and 1 disadvantage, you have neither.
My allies are threatening it.
Yeah. Rogue. As long as
And that's
you
it for me.
don't have disadvantage, and you don't have disadvantage because they cancel. So, all right, yeah. Alright, and you let off a sneaky whip strike against the Mud Method, who was surprised because he didn't think that you could get off a whip attack restrained as you are. Alright. Mighty Poe.
Oh, may I roll a dex save?
Yes.
Alright, I'm gonna try to take down method 3.
Alright, you were finally able to worm your way out of the mud.
Excellent.
Let me remove the restrained effect.
Build mud method 3.
Alright, Mud Method 3 splatters to the ground, and his mud stays mud.
And I'll just taunt.
These
Okay.
guys blow up like all methods do.
Yes, they do.
Oh yeah, we have to make dex saves or something.
But I don't make it a disadvantage anymore.
Let's see, I believe I can do that. Let me just target all of you guys. Alright, the Mephit explodes, coating Poe and Emmerich in thick, goopy mud. Ferdum learned his lesson and remembers to stay clean like his mama told him. You two are both
Hopefully that'll make
restrained. Alright. Mud Mephit 4, yes, is going to try to target Poe.
Cool. As you swing, you notice I'm smiling.
He smiles too, his smile kind of dripping down to his bottom lip as he slams you with his fist.
Excellent.
He punches you right in the mouth and then offers you some gum. Dirty mouth, clean it up. He doesn't have any mud. That was a joke. Or gum. He doesn't have any gum. He has lots of mud. Mud Mephit 8 is also going to try to actually Mud Mephit Emmerich is restrained as well. Is going to try to strike Emmerich.
Aw.
They are under no obligation to strike you when you taunt them. Unless you use one of those abilities that really makes them want to. Alright, it is unable to hit Emmerich. Mud Mephit 5. Guess what? Mud Mephit's 5 little belly starts to swell, and then that bubble of mud moves up into its head, which has grown huge, and then it slams its hands down on its cheeks, spewing a stream of mud down at Ferdum. Who, despite having his shield, is still unable to avoid it. It just streams over his shield, restraining him again. Emmerich.
Alright, Emmerich, looking at his current situation, he's a little nervous. And I get to save, I get to try to save at the end of my turn, right? Off his action.
Yeah, you get a save at the end of your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to try to swing my base, not fully realizing how sticky the situation is.
That's a hit. It's too bad the other one was a 20. It's sad when that happens.
Fear brings a lot of good damage out of you.
And at the end of your turn, you can make a dex save. Basically, the way you're restrained is that you're covered in thick, goopy mud. So it's not like other restraining effects where you can try to like just strong arm your way out. You basically have to squirm out. And you are unable to squirm out. You are still restrained. Baincelus.
An SP effect, it applies disadvantage on its own save.
It does. I think that's why they allow you to do it without using your action.
Makes sense.
Alright, Baincelus tries to make some clay pottery and fire some firebolt at one of the Mud Mephits, who is struck painfully, his skin hardening.
Alright, I'm going to shield dash Mephit 4.
Okay. Mephit 4. He failed miserably. He is prone.
Then I will apply sneak attacks and attack. That's what I have.
Alright, you whip it.
20 and a 2.
You are still restrained. Mighty
Alright.
Poe.
So, question real quick on if I use my precision attack, that does not take a disadvantage, right? I just get to apply a flat D8 to whatever my lowest roll is, right?
Yeah. Disadvantage is only on D20 rolls.
Yep, figured. Okay. Hopefully this will just hit so I don't have to worry about it, but we'll see.
Ow.
1. Will bow his head in shame and pass turn.
Alrighty.
Oh, wait, let me first make my dex save. Good. Okay.
Alright, you are still restrained. Mud Mephit 4 is going to try to punch Poe. Blah blah blah.
Dang it.
Blah blah blah.
I take it he stood up, or did he not?
Was he? Oh, the prone expired because I think you had it set to expire on the next action.
Oh.
Just change that. Change the prone condition to be have an infinite duration and not expend on anything, and I'll remove it when they decide to stand up.
Fair enough.
All right. So he did stand up and tries to punch Poe, and just slams against his armor. He appears disappointed. All right, Mud Mephit 8. Is going to try to punch Emmerich. And does. Mud Mephit 5 is going to try to punch Ferdum. And fails to do so. Ferdum is too nimble, even stuck in the mud. Emmerich.
Alright, with a false sense of confidence from the last successful attack, he's going to bear his base down again on the Mud Mephit.
Alrighty. That's a hit. Perhaps it was not a false sense of confidence. Perhaps Lathander is with you.
Yes, he smiles and whispers a prayer to himself.
Alright, as your mace crushes into this creature's body, mud splatters everywhere. You guys are already all restrained, but now you have a thick, fresh coat of mud.
Oh, let me do my best version card.
Nice.
Alright, you are able to squirm your way out. Bainsolus.
No, my firebolt sounds vicious here.
Whoosh! The firebolt goes right over both of their heads, and they just kind of stop punching your friends and look at you, and then start laughing raucously.
Alright, shield smack, Muppet 4.
Alright, Mephit 4 is knocked prone. Pummel!
Nice blow.
And it explodes, coating you guys in a fresh coat of mud. But apparently, with that fresh coat of lubricating mud, you're able to get out. Ferdum.
Right.
Restrained, removed, and Mud Mephit 4 is dead. Alright, Mighty Poe, but one Mephit remains.
You know what? I'll go use this.
Are you trying to throw your longsword at it?
No, but I will use this precision. So I dropped that on myself, right?
Well, there is, the Mephit is out of your range at the moment.
Oh.
And you are restrained. You'd have to,
Oh.
you can throw your longsword at it if you really want to.
No, I don't. Okay. I forgot that the one that was killed was the one right next to me. Okay, I'll just make a nice deck save and sit there.
Okay.
You have a javelin, or?
Javelins are for squares.
I'm not going to bother.
You are still stuck.
Alright, I passed turn.
Alright, Mud Mephit 5. Doesn't like seeing all these unrestrained people. It's gonna go try to punch Poe. Yeah. And it starts prancing over to you and balling up its fist. Clunk.
You have an actual method there, the voice sounded impeccably good.
Yeah, I'm keeping one in a cage. I just hold him up to the microphone and I say, pretend like you hit his armor and failed, or I kill you.
Alright, Emmerich is going to move over a little bit, get clear out of sight of this Mud Mephit. Grasping his amulet, says, may the Thander's light cleanse this land of your filth, and is doing a sacred flame.
Alright. A ball of light springs into existence near the Mephit and rushes toward it. And he is unable to avoid it. Much more distracted by the disappointment of not being able to hit Poe. And Lathander strikes him mightily for 8 radiant damage. The ball of light slamming into the Mephit.
And, yeah, I'm done.
Alrighty. Banesilus. Alright, Banesilus manages to hit with another firebolt.
Circle around.
The mud mephit starts peeling off layers of hardened clay on the edge of its body, like peeling off a sunburn.
I make a pretty puny shield bash attempt.
Alright. Nonetheless, he was distracted by peeling off his fire-bolted flesh, and he falls prone.
Oh.
And with that, the mephit explodes! And you guys both make dex saves. Go ahead and make your own dex saves, because I just destroyed him. Alright, you are able to avoid it. Poe, you were already restrained, so you get a fresh coat of mud.
The fourth of such kind.
That should be another point of damage resistance.
Basically, Poe is just covered in mud, and you guys can hear like a as he's trying to speak. Alright, but otherwise no further threats appear forthcoming.
I assume I'm out of the thing eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
Alright, we've taken some damage now. I definitely moved for a short rest prior to investigating whatever the next landmark is.
I agree.
Okay, so what we'll do is I say we stay here. The odds of more things other than methods popping up are not too high.
Alright, then I'll spend my second wind and sit down for the rest.
Yep, me too. That's a perfect idea. Actually, I'll just hold mine. No, I'll go ahead and spend it.
I'm gonna use this short rest to clean off the mud off my knees.
Alright.
So do we survive the 1 hour?
Yeah, nothing comes at you during the 1 hour.
Great, I am maxed out as can be.
And I'm gonna give Dawnbringer Emmerich inspiration for role-playing a good cleric of Lathander.
Thank you.
Told you we were being watched, guys.
I'll be back in 1 minute. I gotta go borrow real quick.
If that wasn't Banesilus, make sure you use up hit dice and get back your wound there.
Banesilus says, "I will recover at my own rate, fool. How dare you tell me what to do?"
Oh, the guy that left was Banesilus?
No, he's still here, I think.
No, I'm still here.
Okay, good. I just want to make sure that
It isn't really so much. He's normally just constantly dazed, kind of like looking at all the possible futures.
Alright, Poe is ready to go.
Yeah, I think I'm set.
Alright. You guys gonna continue wandering around looking for the temple?
Well, I'm looking for bandits, but yes.
As you set off to look around for bandits or temples or whatnot, you see something. A group of humanoids starts just walking toward you. There are 3 of them. Oh, there's read aloud text. A group of elves in surprisingly little clothing approach you from the ruins. These elves look different from many other elves you have seen. Their skin is a pale blue, their hair is also blue, and their hands seem webbed. They have strange flaps of skin on their neck that pulse as they breathe. 2 of 1, they all look somewhat uncomfortable in their skin. Instead of furs, feathers, and wood, the elves wear jewelry made of shells and colorful coral. Instead of long swords and bows, they carry short swords and harpoons. The female elf who leads this trio approaches you, and hailing you, she says, "I am Musana, follower of Istitia. We come in peace and common purpose."
What is your purpose, Musana?
"Our purpose is to find our missing prince, Uleva. He has been taken by cultists who worship a forbidden god and lurk in these ruins. We have watched you, and we have witnessed your fights against both the abominations of the waves, the Lacedons, as you call them, and against those foul elemental creatures, the mud mephits. We believe that you can help us.
I too am looking for someone.
Then it is luck that we have found one another.
What would you like to do in order to help you?
We have fought the cultists who make their home in these ruins on several occasions, but have been repulsed at each attempt, losing warriors with each assault. There were many more of us when we started our journey. We would like you to assist us in assaulting their stronghold. They hole up in the bathhouse of this ruined city. If you would, come with us. We have taken one of their number prisoner, and though he has not shed any information to us, perhaps adventurers of your skill would be able to persuade him to speak forthrightly.
Do I feel like she's telling us the truth?
Give me an insight check.
If I can, I'll aid him on that insight check.
You can aid him, so Furtim, you can roll a second insight check. Alright, you see no reason to doubt her. She did just approach you out in the open and has so far made no hostile actions.
I asked her if she's familiar with this area, if she knows of the temple, and where I could find perhaps my holy texts.
Ah, we do not originate from this place. We make our home beneath the waters. However, we have set up our own camp within, I believe it to be one of your land temples. If you follow us, we will lead you to our camp.
Alright, I'm following.
Alrighty?
Reasonable to me if you believe him.
Yeah,
Alright.
I'll go along.
The blue elves lead you toward a large marble building with a columned facade. This is definitely the Temple of All Gods, especially when you step inside and can see arrayed around the building several ruined shrines to various gods. Here you can see kind of half of a scale that may have been that of Kelimvor, perhaps Joaquin. Over there you can see imagery of the sun and light and rays of light that may have been a shrine of Lathander at one time. Of particular note is a man tied up with ropes and gagged with a strip of cloth, lying still in one corner. His eyes are open and he watches you approach. He appears to be garbed in simple adventurer's clothes and otherwise appears fairly average. The elves gesture to him and say, "This is the cultist we captured. He has not answered any of our questions and vehemently states that he is not a cultist indeed, but he was definitely with them when we captured him."
Does he look injured?
He has several injuries, but they appear to have been tended. There are bandages through which blood peeks out, wrapped around like his arms and legs and chest, but he is otherwise in a capable-looking state.
I imagine this is not the sort of prisoner I roll d20s on.
Actually, go ahead, roll a d20.
Good. I'm glad it's
Alright, it's not your missing retainer.
So, okay, so in other words, based on your description, it sounds like that they have treated him well for a prisoner.
Yes.
Okay. Probably a good sign that these guys are good. Alright, who has the best either intimidation or interrogation type skills?
What do we want to learn from him?
Would you have a pulsar probably?
Dawnbringer has the only charisma bonus.
And actually, Dawnbringer, seeing him not injured, is going to go over to Lathander's ruined shrine and lighting a candle and incense and praying for her now.
Okay.
I will speak to the... Or anyone wants to ask him questions, that's fine.
Hey, let's pop the gag and ask him who he is.
I am going to cast Detect Thoughts, go into his mind, and he surprisingly rolls a 4 on his saving throw.
Well, that works.
And ask him anything you want, I will read the answers out of his mind.
Alright, so you're going to be probing deep into his mind? So not just the surface thoughts? You're using your portent to make him fail his save?
Yes, once we ask him the question so I can see the answer.
Alright, when you are you just gonna leave the gag on him and read his thoughts as you ask questions?
Yeah, we can do that too.
Okay. As you approach him,
Actually, let's take the gag off also because then we can see if he's lying.
well, even as you approach him to take the gag off, you can hear in his mind he's thinking, okay, just pretend to be a treasure hunter. Just tell them you're here looking for treasure, and they have to believe you because I mean there's really no evidence to the contrary. Okay.
Seems like an honest chap.
We'll answer up before we ask him any questions. I will say I understand that you're not a treasure hunter, and
His eyes widen as he looks at you.
we only want the truth, or you will not like the consequences.
Alright, you hear in his thoughts, how did they know that? No, they can't. There's no way they know. He must be bluffing.
No bluffs. I know completely.
Alright, you hear in his mind, shoot! He's reading my mind somehow. Alright, when you ask him where are your allies, he struggles to not think of that, but you have probed deeply into his mind, and you can see images of his people at the bathhouse. You catch glimpses of another large marble building that appears to be relatively intact for the buildings of the ruins, and it's kind of a low, squat marble building. But inside, you can see images, or you can kind of see images of him walking inside, and there are other people in there. Maybe about a dozen or so other people. You see bedrolls. And he walks through a door and stepping into a chamber with a large pool of water in which you see what look to be cultists dressed in the garb of the crushing wave, holding what look to be common people prisoner and drowning them in the pool. And there is a man leading a chant of some kind, and when the drowning people are pulled back above the water, they have been transformed into Lacedons.
Does he remember an ASMR?
Roll a d20. Or no, roll 2 d20s. Alright, he does not remember seeing an Azamar.
What are they doing there? What's their purpose?
Obviously making an undead army. How many allies? I'll look at the bound person. How many allies do you have?
Alright, he tries to think of a number somewhere in the scores, but you can read deeper in his thoughts. There are only about a dozen or less or fewer. Their presence here in the ruins is negligible.
They have a maximum of a dozen men, probably less.
You also catch something deep in his thoughts. It's an image of a swirling vortex that leads somewhere, and you hear the word Shelavasa.
Can you write that down?
Yes.
And I will... Does this mean anything to anyone?
If you say it out loud, the elves behind you say, Did you say Shelavasa?
Correct.
Shelavasa is a traitor, a wretched Marl. She... yes, it is likely that she may be the one who took Prince Ulatha. We must find her. She likely has our prince.
Alright, well, their allies are at the bathhouse within the ruins. Beyond that, there is some kind of like swirling elemental vortex.
My, you have learned much simply by looking upon this man. May I inquire how you are able to do so?
I'm currently inside his mind.
Oh, fascinating. This is indeed helpful. We were right to come to you. Ishtitia must have led us to you. Oh, and that reminds me. Dawnbringer. As you are saying a prayer to Lathander, a sliver of light peeks out from the clouds and shines upon a pile of rubble next to you.
Oh, I thank Lathander for his fortune and or for my fortune and start to uncover the rubble.
Alright, under the rubble, you find a small stone box that contains within it several coins carved from bone that have various religious imagery on them. It is clear to you that these are tokens that serve as the material components for the augury spell. However, they probably also have some material value.
Alright, I collect them. It helps to donate it to my church.
Alrighty. Alright, back on the other side, Musana says, "It would appear that you have learned much more than we anticipated you have. But what you say about raising an army of undead worries me. We heard ritualistic chanting coming from the bathhouse. If they are performing some foul ritual to create these more of these abominations of the waves, we must stop them."
I'm in.
Oh, I agree.
Alrighty.
Especially since we got some good information on this guy. I mean, he's obviously lying. He's obviously a bad guy. I like to kill bad guys.
Did I see the text that I was looking for anywhere while we were here, by the way?
Let me check. You did not find the holy text is lost, or is in a library that is missing. Oh, but you do, under the rubble you uncovered, lying next to that small stone box, you also see a little opening. As you shift the rubble aside further, you can see that Lathander did not guide you merely to a set of coins. As you shift the rubble aside, you can see what remains of a staircase. It appears to have collapsed, choking it up with fallen stone, but it looks like you may be able to, with time, clear it out and descend into the ruins in search of your holy text.
Alright, I walk over to the elves and say, "You have aided me in my journey. I will gladly help you recover your prince."
Excellent. I am sure that with our combined power, we'll be able to stop this ritual and rescue Prince Ulatha. Please, follow us. We will lead you to the bathhouse.
I asked them if they are combat ready or if they're just going to lead us and then leave.
We, of course, will stand with you. We could not ask you to rescue our prince and not lend our aid. You shall have our power.
Thank you. In that case, I ask if they have anything like Bless or something like that that would aid us. Take several of us before the combat.
The aquatic elves, let's see, let me show you them in the combat tracker. 2 of them are simple fighters with harpoons and short bows, or short swords. Yeah, they have harpoons. Oops, I just made Banesless not friendly. 2 of them have harpoons and short swords. Musana carries a spear, just a spear, but she has what looks to be a holy symbol dangling around her neck.
Do I recognize this holy symbol?
Give me a religion check. She did say earlier that she was a follower of Istitia. And you actually recognize that name. Istitia is Estitia is the king of water elementals and is the neutral deity of elemental water.
How would Lathander feel about this?
Estitia represents water in its purest form, in its most natural form, and is neither evil nor good. It is simply a force of nature. Estitia does represent the purification aspect of water, and the followers of Estitia venerate the god for its power to cleanse.
I can buy that.
All right. Well, so does Musana have any pre-combat?
Yeah, I was just looking. She does not have any buff spells.
Okay. I explained to her that clerics have access to the entire player's handbook if she wants to. If she's adventuring again, she can re-choose her spells more wisely.
She, unfortunately, is not a cleric. She is a priest. She has a set,
okay.
set range of spells to which she has access.
When she's not looking, I look upon her with pity.
Alright. Let me do this. Alright. The elves lead you to the bathhouse. Like you saw in not your vision, but in the prisoner's vision, Bainsolus. It is a squat marble building that is surprisingly intact. It appears to have weathered the centuries better than any other building in the ruins, and that would potentially explain why the cultists have set up camp here. There is a a columned facade with a set of double doors set in the entrance of the building. The elves say, the cultists lie within.
Alright, let's barge in, basically. Unless there's some other type of more sinister way to get in. So maybe we send in...
If there's any practical way to scout ahead, I would do so.
Alright, you can go up to the doors and try to listen if you want.
Sure, let's do that. Boom.
Alright, you, oh, give me a stealth check, also.
Let's boom.
Alright, you skulk up to the doors, your cloak shifting colors as you walk, trying to look like falling rain, and you get up to the door and you listen, and you hear ever so faintly the sound of some kind of talking, no, chanting, but you can only barely make it out, and you definitely cannot discern any phrases.
Alright, I think the ritual is going on, friends.
To that, Musana says that we must proceed quickly.
Alright, I think it's barging in.
Alright.
That is Poe's specialty.
You barge in through the doors, and you are in an empty room. Well, empty of people. This appears to be a rather large chamber, partitioned off at areas by curtains, and you can see like stains on the floor where it looks like baths may once have stood, but instead there are now bedrolls. There are various possessions strewn about, and there's a set of double doors on the far side of the room.
What's the lighting situation?
It is well lit. There are torches on the walls and windows set high in the walls as well.
I'll poke my head into the room in the back.
All right. Grab that. All right. So you're poking your head through the double door set at the far side of the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm about 15 feet back of him.
Okay. Let's... Unfortunately, I don't have... I need to make this map bigger. Alright, I'm going to put you guys on this map, and there's a set of double doors right in the bottom middle, and you can move yourselves out to the left or right to indicate how far away you are. Ah, dang it, I keep grabbing the gosh darn wrong tokens. Okay. Emric and Bainsilus and Furtum is peeking his head through the door, and Poe was 15 feet away.
Yeah, so I'd like to sneak in if I could.
Alright, give me a stealth check.
So you said out here there was a bunch of like campsite type stuff?
Yeah.
Have we looked through any of that stuff to see if
Nope,
Make a
Furtum
roll,
went
maybe?
right up to the door and started looking through. Alright. The sound of
I still have the restraint condition.
Oh, I'll remove that. The sound of churning water nearly drowns out the chanting and crying that come from this room. Inside, the eastern ceiling is collapsed, allowing wind, rain, and lightning to be seen and felt from inside. The room is mostly filled by a half-empty pool with a narrow walkway surrounding it. The pool is deeper in the center and shallower at each end. 2 prisoners are bound and tied together at the far end of the pool, sitting in water several inches deep, being menaced by a handful of cultists wielding tridents. In the center of the pool, an unnatural maelstrom grabs at the robes of a half-elf that stands waist-deep in the water. Chanting in a primordial language, hands plunged into the water, the priest seems enraptured as the maelstrom pulses with a preternatural light. Despite your attempts at stealth, as you poke your head through the door, the priest's eyes snap up to meet yours as he finishes his profane prayer, and he stares at you with an evil grin on his face. Child of Ohydra, rise and perform your bonded duty! With that, he points toward you, and out of the water rises a waterlogged human with pale, leaky skin. The creature shambles toward you. Everyone roll initiative. Okie dokie, let's see. There's one of these guys. And then I need to do this. Any ties? Okay. Now, oh man, there's so many of them. I should really have set them out beforehand. Okay, let's see. There's the half-elf guy standing right here. There's a cultist here.
Karsev, the half-elf.
Mm-hmm. And then these guys. And then this guy. And then, let me get some tokens for the prisoners. Beggar. That's not how beggar is spelled.
the Karsev is the waterlogged one?
No, I need to put him out too.
Oh, okay. That's the priest then.
Yeah. Ooh. My system just gets laggier and laggier as I put out more of these people. And nope, 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 dope, nope, nope. I know they're here somewhere. Let me try to find... Ah, okay. I won't put out any tokens for the prisoners because I can't find my tokens. And here is the waterlogged creature charging out of the pool. And... boom. There's everything. Alright, so there are 6 robed figures standing on the far side of the pool, continually chanting, appearing heedless of your presence, while 2 cultists on the far side of the pool are forcing 2 prisoners down under the water to drown them. The half-elf is advancing toward you, drawing a hand fork, which like a little small trident, and he has a shield on his other arm, while a Lacedon emerges from the water to threaten you. Furtim, you are up first.
Alright, let's get up to the Lacedon and smack him with my shield.
Alrighty.
Did he get knocked down?
I need to find him. He did not get knocked down.
Alright, then I will whip him.
Alright. That's a hit.
And that's it for me.
Alrighty. Alright, Masana says to her 2 elves, says, "Come quickly, we must end the ritual." And this elf comes in here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And throws a harpoon at one of the chanting ritualists. He chucks it across the room, missing badly, clattering against the stone floor. Alright, Karsev the Drowner. Closes his eyes and begins chanting. And a spectral... spectral trident appears behind Furtim and tries to stab out at him. Ah, bananas. I'm breaking it. All kinds of broken now. Okay, I'm just going to roll a d20. Does a 16 hit your armor class?
It does not.
Alright. It stabs out at you and you're able to dodge it. That was its bonus action. He now... says... He now casts a second... No, that was... Okay, yeah, he casts a cantrip at you. He calls upon the wrath of old Hydra to smite this heathen, but you succeeded on the save. Ignore that. Ignore the second one. Dawnbringer Emmerich.
Alright, question.
Yeah.
Do I have a clear line of sight to the priest right now?
Yep, he is standing waist deep in the pool in front of you, and the water is just a few feet below the edge, below the ledge.
So he doesn't get any cover saves, you know, out of character, if you will.
No cover.
Okay. Alright, I'd say, what sort of unholy ritual is this? May Lathander's light guide us. And I'm going to use my inspiration and cast a guiding bolt on the priest.
Alrighty.
Let's see where my initial on screen is up. Looks like a hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
Yep. Alright. The light of Lathander strikes into this foul cultist, and he is coated in glimmering light, which will grant the next person to hit him advantage as Lathander guides your strikes. How dare you bring your god in here, in this sanctum of Hydra?
I stare at him with contempt.
And Musana, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, comes in and says, Hydra holds no power here. Istitia, cleanse these foul cultists. And she is going to try to... she casts Sacred Flame on one of the cultists. No, go back. So, okay. Who is struck dead by the might of Istitia. Then Cultist 17 continues trying to drown one of the prisoners. And the ritualists continue chanting, Adahi Tahana, O Hydra! Banesless.
So the guiding bolt works with range attacks as well, right?
I believe so.
So just one thing, Rituals 19 is still there on the...
Yeah, I'm deleting him.
Okay, I just wanted to...
Yeah, I'm prioritizing other things at the moment. There's so
I
many...
thought they might have some sort of zombie type ability to raise guys back up.
No, he's dead. Alright. Banesless creates an orb of fire, I presume, and sends it hurtling toward Karsev, guided by the light of Lathander, and the flame strikes him full on. You dare bring fire here? And the ritualists continue chanting. Aquatic Elf 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Comes in here and chucks the harpoon at one of the ritualists, who is just barely out of range. So he's disadvantage. And that's a miss. Bull Hydra, Adahi, Mighty Poe.
Take this guy out.
Alright, you attempt to.
What stats? Hold on. You know what? I'm going to go ahead and spend a superiority dice.
Okay.
Distracting strike. Okay, so I dropped this on myself, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Dropped. Okay, it was done twice accidentally.
Alright, I need to remove those before you go.
And now where am I?
Alright, now you're good to go. Now you
Okay,
roll
so
for
now I'm
damage.
on them. Got it. Awesome. Damage.
Alright.
And I will taunt him viciously. Oh, and the next person to attack him has advantage if it doesn't actually do that.
Alrighty. Lacidon is going to try to strike you. with its claws. It spins about in the water, no longer aiming for Furtum, and tries to lash at Poe with its claws. Missing.
That's okay. Many such undead have tried the same.
Alright, the cultists on the far side of the pool are shoving the prisoners under the water and say, "Die! Die in Alhydra's name, and rise as her servant! Anahito Ararira!" And the chanting grows more vicious as the cultists try to pick up the slack for their dead companion. Furtum.
I'm gonna make use of that advantage to strike at Karsev with my whip.
Okay. That's a hit.
Gotta be dead.
Yep, and that hit knocks him down, splash, into the water, and the swirling vortex of the pool begins tugging his floating body down into its dark center. And curiously, when his body reaches the center, instead of merely spinning about in the swirling water, it vanishes beneath the depths and does not return.
Then I'll smash the Lacedon with my shield.
Alright, this aquatic elf. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to try to kill one of these guys. Come on. Come on. Oh, there it is. And that's a hit. And another cultist is dropped dead.
Okay, is cultist 17 or cultist 8 holding what I would believe to be the prince?
Neither of the people they are holding under the water appear to look like your aquatic elf friends here. They are both simple humans.
Or the companion that we're looking for either, right?
No, none of them are the missing companion.
Okay, well, I'm gonna target cultist 17 then.
Alrighty.
And use a sacred flame to try to stop this ritual.
Alright, he avoids the wrath of your god, too filled with faith in Alhydra.
I reach for my amulet and pray. Perhaps I wasn't strong enough in my faith.
Perhaps not. Alright, Musana is going to come up. Actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to go over there. Let's delete this while I'm over here.
Is the water difficult terrain?
It is. Alright, she calls upon the power of Astitia to cleanse these foul cultists. And Astitia strikes another one of the chanting ritualists dead. Cultist 17 continues holding that prisoner down under the water. Anai Tora Ul Hydra Bansless.
Okay, I will try to see if I can turn off. Can I have my flaming head back?
Yep. Here it is. My vortex token. Let's make it bigger.
Whoa.
Yeah, much better. It's a little smaller than
So
that.
did this suddenly just appear? Is this...
No, it did not suddenly appear. It's been here the whole time. The water in the pool is swirling about furiously.
Okay. Does it suck me at me, or is it just kind of annoying?
You are currently far enough away that it's only lightly tugging at you. It did pull in Karsav's body when he fell unconscious, or fell dead.
Okay.
Alright, Ritualist 8 continues chanting, and this aquatic elf will try to end more of that chanting by throwing a harpoon, which sadly misses. Mighty Poe.
Alright. Taking this guy out. Laecidon. Why did it... Oh, he's prone.
He was prone.
Got it. Moderate. Yeah, I'm just gonna just attack normally. Laecidon.
Alright.
Dailies on Laecidons. Alright, and then...
Alright, the Lastodon, rather than ring back to try to rend you with its claws, reaches in, trying to grab at you instead. Make an athletics check, or a dexterity check.
Athletics?
Yep. Athletics or acrobatics. Your choice.
Athlete.
Alright, you were able to angle the creature away without such that it couldn't grab you. It appears to be enraged. Alright, Cultist 8 says, "Die! Die!" Vert him.
Alright, I'm gonna risk an opportunity attack and run here. Jump over this.
Okay.
Then use my action to dash up here. So I'll probably provoke from the Lastodon and from Ritualist 13 doing that. But then I'm
Let's
going to use
see.
my bonus action to shield bash the cultist.
First, I need to see what your strength score is. It is enough that you can jump that far. And then the Ritualist, as you run by, completely ignores you, intent upon its chanting. But the Lastodon is going to try to strike you. And it misses.
So I'm going to shield bash the cultist 17.
Alright. He is shield bashed. He falls prone.
You know, I think I'll instead of knocking him prone, I'll push him back 5 feet into cultist 8.
Okay. You send him tumbling into Cultist 8, who, let's see, Cultist 8. Give me an acrobatics check, Cultist 8. Cultist 8 is able to maintain his footing, but Cultist 17 is pushed away and lets go of the person he was drowning, who rises above the water, gasping for air. The other one is still drowning. The other cultist is still drowning the other prisoner.
That's all I can do.
That's all you can do. Aquatic Elf 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Comes up here and tries to stab this remaining ritualist on this side with his short sword. And the ritualist falls to his blade. Emmerich.
Okay, so none of those guys are prone, correct?
None of them are prone.
Alright, I'm gonna target Cultist 8 then, and use a Sacred Flame again.
Okie dokie. Alright, he failed. Lathender's light strikes him fully. Alright, Lathender's light slams into the cultist, but he maintains his grapple upon his drowning victim.
And I'm gonna move over here.
Alright, 1, 2, 3. Musana is going to cast Sacred Flame upon the Ritualist, who succeeded. Cultist 17 is going to come and try to strike Furtim with his scimitar. Yeah, but misses. Hada! All Hydra! Hana! This guy's shouting to try to keep up the ritual. Bainsolus.
Well, he didn't move.
Yep, he did not. So, he makes a dex save, or is he just... yeah, he failed his dex save, and he, intent upon the ritual, he did not move, and his robes catch on fire, and he begins screaming, "Oh Hydra! Oh Hydra! Ah! Ah! Ah!" And eventually it just dissolves to indistinguishable screaming, and he burns to the ground. Alright, and your flaming sphere circles around to slam into that cultist, knocking him dead. The prisoner he was holding erupting from the water, gasping for breath.
Then with my normal action, I will choose my moment carefully and roll a total of 22 on my chromatic orb with my 16.
Alrighty. Alright, and the chromatic orb slams into the Lastodon,
Nice hit.
rendering it quite dead, its body floating away, swept up in the vortex and disappearing into the depths.
Alright, I think the wizard did his job that turn.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so this aquatic elf leaps into the water, swims the short distance, and leaps out. That's 3, 4, 5, 6. And throws his harpoon at the remaining cultist. Hitting. Poe!
Alright, based on distance, I can't really do much, and I'm a little nervous about this vortex. So I'll just stand there and maintain full defense and look around to see if I see any other unfriendlies.
Alrighty.
All
Hurt
right,
him.
let's introduce him to my shield again.
He falls prone. And with that, he lies dead.
And I'm just gonna run over to the prisoners and see if they need any aid.
Alright, Musana looks around and says, "I do not see Shelavasa, nor Prince Ulatha. Where could they be?" The prisoners are grasping onto the edge of the pool, coughing up water, and they say, Thank you. Thank you." The aquatic elves pull them out and drag them onto the edge there.
I'll do a quick survey of this room and the one before and make sure we're picking up everything of value.
Is there
Alright.
anything I can do to help the prisoners?
They are fine now. They were not, they had not yet actually begun drowning.
Nice.
But, they are grateful, and there is nothing else in this room. In the previous room, you are able to find a number of things. You find a stick with a piece of coral on the end that looks like it could serve as an arcane focus for a wizard. 25 gold pieces worth of incense. A journal with written by one of the cultists appears with notes on various points of interest throughout the ruins of Fort Dalton. A tankard made of silver worth 5 gold pieces. A healer's kit with 4 uses remaining. And about 52 gold pieces in various coinage.
I'd like to take that healer's kit if everybody's okay with that.
I'm fine with it.
Okay. Who wants it?
Emmer. The healer's kit.
Okay, I just distributed it to you and also distributed some of the money. because that's the way the system works.
So is the vortex still there?
It is. It is. The water in the pool is still swirling about. The storm still rages from the hole in the ceiling.
Can I read through the journal and see if it gives us any clues as to where these guys could be holed up?
Yeah, look through it. Looking through the journal, it mostly just mentions things around the ruins. You do see the words, the divine node, but you're not sure what that means.
Right, I obviously tell everybody what I'm finding in case they had any point of interest that they haven't reached yet.
Does node seem like the context would mean like a demi-plane or something?
Yes. Bainsless on his Arcana check recognizes the word node as a term used to refer to elemental demiplanes.
My guess if
we also mentioned it to Musana in case she has some idea of where to find the demi-plane.
Through the vortex.
Yeah, it's pretty clear to Bainsless that the vortex leads into the node.
These prisoners are the ones who I already moved.
I agree. Beforehand, just to be on the safe side, let's have somebody that has detect magic as a ritual use that to make sure we don't leave an item behind or something.
I can do that.
Okay.
Oh, we're gonna wait 10 minutes?
Well, do we have 10 minutes, or do we think we don't, DM?
Well, we're trying to rescue someone that might be
fine.
being drowned.
Yeah, we can always come back here. This is actually on the normal planes. So, fine, Poe will jump in mightily.
And
I'll
I
go
will
in.
fall behind.
Alright.
I cast light on my mace just in case it's dark down there, and I
Good call.
say a prayer with Ander and jump in after them.
Alrighty. Yeah. Come on. Alright, you jump into the maelstrom expecting to hit the bottom of the pool, but you do not. Instead, you find yourself momentarily suspended in an amorphous bubble of water. Alright. Beyond the bubble you are in, you can see that you are in a cave with a waterfall, although the water is not falling as much as it is floating down. A small glowing fish swims near you, glowing with a pale light. There are other water globules here, ranging anywhere from the size of a small drop to 10 feet across, and they undulate as they bob lazily through the air. In the center of the cave is a perfect sphere of water, suspended in midair, glowing with a greenish-blue light. Okay.
Are we still in initiative order, or do we re-roll, or what's the deal there?
No initiative yet. Let's see, this guy's gone.
Take a look around.
Just a moment. Still setting up, and boom. Alright. Movement distracts you from your vision. You see a female elf with pale skin, blackish green hair, and green eyes which have a phosphorescent glow. The elf is in the pool near a small piece of dry land. Next to her is another elf. This one has skin that is pale blue with blue hair, but he is bound tightly by leather straps, rendering him unable to move.
I roll a d20.
For what purpose?
Are they prisoners?
Oh, no, this is not your friend. This is another aquatic elf. Alright,
So we're floating on this blue.
You are
circle?
in it. You are in it. It is a sphere of water, just kind of bobbing in that space, and you are in it, essentially swimming. The aquatic elves immediately start swimming out of the bubble and touch down upon the ground nearby.
I think I'll follow their lead.
Right.
As will I. We can just move if we want to, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you have to swim while you're in the bubble, but so that's difficult terrain while you're in the bubble. Alright, as you step out of the bubble, the woman across the way addresses you. What's this? Visitors? I was not expecting visitors. What brings you here, and why have with you those blue... I don't know how she would address them. Those foul elves.
Before we start engaging in conversation, I am going to touch my medallion on my chest and activate a detect thoughts, but I'm not probing into anything deeply.
Alright, I don't think you're within range for detect thoughts. I think it's 30-foot range. In any event, Musana is going to whisper to you guys, that is Shelavasa, and she has with her Prince Ulatha.
Do we see the corpse of that guy we killed?
Yes.
That we flushed?
It's lying on the ground next to Musana.
And he's well and truly dead, right?
He is, appears to be well and truly dead. There's also a Lacedon dumped down on top of him. You notice as you look at him that the shield on his left arm has imagery of eyes, and... Whoa, what was that? One of them just blinked at you.
This is the corpse?
No, the eye symbols on his shield blinked.
The corpse's shield.
Yes.
I'm smashing my mace down on it.
On the shield?
Yes.
I think I'd like to... I think I'd like to examine it.
Okay.
Well, first let's deal with Shelavasa.
Yeah. We can loot later.
We can either fight or examine the shield later.
Yeah.
Alright, she shouts out to you again. What are you doing here in this sacred place? You are not welcome, especially not with those blue abominations.
I'm just gonna walk up to her, to there before communicating.
Alright, you step by that
I'll
perfect sphere of water in the center, and you get an odd feeling as of water filling your lungs, or the weight of the sea pressing down upon you. Though, you don't appear to be drowning or even in the water, you just get that feeling as you're near that orb.
Okay.
Come no closer. I would have you answer my questions before you approach me.
I should be inside her head by now.
Okay. She's thinking, what are these people doing here? I must get them away.
This is an interesting place you have here.
Indeed it is. This is a sanctum to a powerful god of water.
Oh,
And you are not welcome here and must leave.
But who knows that? Who tells you that Hydra didn't send us?
You are clearly no servants of Hydra. I will offer you one last chance. Leave this place, take your blue friends with you, and we need not be enemies.
I'm looking for a friend of mine. Have you seen her? Describe Adia.
No, I have not left this place in quite some time, though you certainly should. Again,
Now,
leave now.
now this bargain, is that the bells we came with, or is she offering the one next to him as well?
Is she offering... She's not offering anything.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, she was just saying... When she said take your blue friends with you, she meant the,
Right, that's what I assumed. I just
Yeah.
wanna make sure.
We can't let you continue to kill these people.
Kill what people? I know not of what you speak.
What's your relationship to this guy? And gesture to Arsev or Karasev.
Um,
Because he's certainly been killing people.
that man is but a minor priest of our god. He has no power here. This is my domain.
So they're of the same god. I say we attack these guys then.
Hold, hold. There is no reason for us to be enemies.
The fact that you worship some weird old Hydra god is enough reason for Poe.
Oh. Well, that is unfortunate that you feel that way. I suppose if nothing can be done about it, then we must fight. And she snaps her fingers, and her form becomes like water, waving in and out. Come then, and face the wrath of old Hydra. Roll initiative.
Famous for being last.
Alright, Furtim, you're first.
2, 3, 4. I'll walk up to the edge and can I smack her with my shield from here?
Yeah. You are a fool to come to this place. Old Hydra will take you all. Let's see. Alright, you knocked her prone.
Alright, then I'd like to grapple her with my other arm.
Alright. And you grappled her.
Alright, and then I will pull her out.
How dare you! Unhand me! How much have you moved already?
That was 4 towards and 2 away.
Alright, you can only move at half speed while you are dragging somebody, so
Oh, okay.
you got to move 1 away. Alright, and you pull her partially out of the water.
Caught me a fish, guys.
You will suffer for this! And she's like trying to squirm out of your grasp.
And that's all for me.
Alright, the other elf continues to lie unconscious in the pool.
You
Alright.
should be restrained in addition to prone, for what it's worth.
Oh, not Shelavasa. She's not restrained. Grapple does not restrain. She has the grappled condition.
Okay. Okay, she's grappled.
Yeah. This aquatic elf says, "For Prince Ulatha!" And comes up and actually swims through that pool to the north so he can get a better shot on Shelavasa. And he throws his harpoon at her. And that was a miss, as her form wavered like water still. So he draws another harpoon and says, "Die, witch!" And hits her. Alright, and she continues blurring. Bainsolus.
Let me see. Can I have my Flaming Skull deck?
Yep. Alright, you summon a sphere of flame which rams into Shelavasa. She has to make a concentration save, and she does. Shelavasa, foul servant of old Hydra, you will pay for taking our prince. May Astitia cleanse your evil. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And she is going to cast Sacred Flame. which strikes for 1 damage. And Shelavasa makes her concentration save. Shelavasa, writhing in Furtum's grasp, says, "You are fools to come here. Old Hydra will drown you. He will consume you!" And she dissolves into mist right in your grasp.
Ah.
And reappears 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in the pool, in a pool to the south. And then a bunch of things are going to happen. Here we go. Alright, a sudden storm of freezing rain and driving sleet comes out of nowhere and just starts pouring down upon you, quickly coating the ground in a thin layer of slick ice. This area is now heavily obscured, rendering you all effectively blind, and the ground is slippery, requiring dexterity saves to move across it. And then she says, or you hear her voice, you can't see her anymore. You hear her voice, "Come, servants of Hydra, perform your duty. Slay these interlopers." However, nothing appears to immediately respond to that summons. Alright, this aquatic elf steps out of the storm. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Swims across the pool there. And throws a harpoon. Throws a couple harpoons at Shelavasa. Hitting. First, let me see. Yep, she maintained concentration. Oh, she didn't have blur on anymore. It was a hit anyway. Let's see, her blur should be gone. Alright, so I'm just going to roll another d20 to see if that would have hit. It was a hit. Okay, she took more damage. And... oh! And just as quickly as it came, it vanishes. The storm dissipating as you hear, "Ah!" It vanishes, and you can see Shelavasa with a harpoon protruding from her side. Come on.
Nice.
Alright. However, from that sphere of water in the middle, Dawnbringer Emmerich, you are closest, and you can see a shadow, what looks to be swimming toward you. In fact, as you gaze upon the sphere, you can see that you can actually not see through to the other side. Instead, it appears to be an endless ocean in front of you, with a shadowy form swimming toward you, growing closer and closer and closer, until eventually bursting from the sphere comes a large, horrendous-looking aquatic creature, bearing a harpoon, wicked-looking claws, and a fanged mouth.
And everybody sees this, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And I have an image of it, so you can see what horror lies before you.
So it has a tail. Is it able to walk on the ground?
It slithers across the ground like a serpent.
Okay.
Alright, it slithers toward Emmerich and attempts to claw him. Missing once. Missing twice. Whoosh, whoosh. Somehow you're able to avoid its massive clawed hands. Let me see how many attacks it makes. I think it only makes the 2. Oh, okay. Emmerich, this hulking creature has just slithered up to you and tried to rend you with its claws.
I am going to disengage and move past him in an attempt to make my way towards that prince to make sure he's okay.
Alrighty. As you disengage, you will have to Oh yeah, I guess you can just walk past the sphere.
Yeah, I think that I get one movement after that, right? So that
Yep.
puts me there.
That's as far as you can get. Poe.
And look to Poe for hopefully he can take care of business over there.
Oh yeah, no problem. I counted, unfortunately, I'm 7 steps away from Televasa, so I'll take on this Marrow. Alright. I get the Marrow.
That's a hit.
And I'm going to use a superiority die. It looks like. Okay, now the next attack on him has advantage, and I mean not by me though. I'm gonna go ahead and use my action surge though,
Okay.
and yeah, I'm gonna use my action surge. I'm gonna swing at him again.
Alright, you swing into the Marrow, who hisses angrily.
And
then with a burst of strength, you swing in again!
I'm gonna go ahead and use yet another distracting strike, even though I'm using up the effect, just because if I can kill this guy, it's better than the effect.
Yeah. Alright.
Possible damage. Then I will pass turn.
Greenish blood issues forth from various wounds, and the Marrow hisses at you angrily. Bird him.
Alright, I'll walk up to the Marrow, and since I'll have advantage on the attack, I will whip him. Whip him good.
Alrighty. That's a hit. He takes 15 damage as your
Killed
whip
him anyway.
bites into his flesh.
Alright, and then step forward and smack him prone for good measure.
Alrighty. Marrow. Okay.
Gonna be a hard roll for him to make.
He did not make it, and he falls prone, his massive body spreading out along the ground with a thud. It immediately starts coiling up to strike at you again. That aquatic elf continues lying unconscious. Alright, aquatic elf 8 is going to try to help you guys with the Marrow.
Prone.
Yeah, I applied the prone.
He stabs at it with a short sword, hitting. Then he stabs at it again with his short sword. Missing. Bainsolus.
And what is Shalasa doing?
She is standing in the pool in the depths of spellcasting. Alright, that's a hit. You dare bring fire into this sanctum of Ol Hydra? She shall
You
douse.
said that once before.
Ol Hydra shall douse your flame. Alright, Musana is going to try to take out. Actually, 1, 2. She's going to cast a Sacred Flame at Shelavasa. No, she's going to cast a Guiding Bolt at Shelavasa. Missing. And then she's going to try to go help her prince. 1, 2, 3. Grabs him up. Alright, Shelavasa doesn't like your proximity, wizard. Ah. You feel a natural cold start to take over you, but you shook it off. Let's see. Right, and she's gonna swim away. 1, 2, 3. That far.
Coward.
Alright, Aquatic Elf 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's going to try to help take down this marrow. He stabs at the prone marrow with his short sword. Hitting. Once.
Has to kill it. Yep.
That's enough to kill it. Emmerich.
Does it look like she has the print situation under control, or does it look like it needs my assistance?
Looks like the prince situation is under control.
Alright, so I'm going to turn my gaze over to Shilavasa and use a sacred flame to purify her from this
Alrighty.
realm. And it's in within reach.
Yep. Alright, she succeeded on her save. Lathander has no power here, cleric.
Yeah, we'll see about that.
Poe.
Well, like I can move my maximum move and get to right here, so I will, and then I will pass turn.
Alrighty. Furtim.
4 or 5. So, I guess I can only make it 5.5 squares because this becomes difficult. Then I'll go 2, 3, basically using my dash action in the water. And I will use my bonus to shield bash her, aiming to push her out of the globe of water this time.
Alright, she's in a pool of water at the moment. The globes are the blue circles, but
Oh, okay.
she will attempt to... She does not resist, and you push her out of the water.
That's 5 feet of force movement. That's it for me.
Alright. Alright, the aquatic elves are going to start heading towards you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And an aquatic elf dashes across the open ground, leaps into the water, and swims with supernatural speed. Or extraordinary speed, I suppose. It's not really supernatural. Bainsolus. Alright, you roll your flaming sphere closer to Shelavasa and then launch a chromatic orb at her.
That's a lot of dice.
The flames hit her square in the chest, and with a sickening sizzle, her skin is sauteed.
I told you we'll see whether he would allow fire here.
And she is dead. Alright, over on the other side of the room, Musana channels healing magic into Prince Ulatha and drags him partially out of the pool.
I go to help her move him.
Alright. And she says to you, "Thank you, my friends. We have saved Prince Ulatha and rendered the foul traitor Shelavasa the judgment she deserved. Unfortunately, I feel that this place will not long remain stable without her." And as she says that, you notice that the bubbles around the room are starting to shiver as if stones have been cast to them, ripples just kind of going all across their forms. Similarly, the water around the room begins to ripple as well, and even the ground begins to shake. "We must be gone from this place. Quickly, step into one of these spheres of water, and I will transport us from here."
Then, anybody want to get that shield?
Yeah, someone get the shield.
Yeah, I'll grab the shield.
Alright, you run over to the shield and then leap into the sphere of water next to the body, and you are instantly inundated with a flood of bubbles.
Can I check Shilavasa before I jump into the bubble at the end there?
Oh yeah, and you guys grabbed up all the stuff and then leapt into the bubbles just as the chamber starts to dissolve behind you, and you find yourselves back in the pool in the bathhouse, and all well and good with lots of treasures and goodies. Congratulations, that's the end of this adventure.
Woohoo!
Alright, let's see. No, stop. Alright, the aquatic elves are grateful for your assistance in rescuing their prince. They don't really have a reward to offer you, except their gratitude. But you can take as reward all the things you found on Shelavasa and the shield. Alright, let's see. You killed, let's see, that's 600, 800, 1250, 1700, 2150. Alright, so everyone earns 300 experience points, and in addition to the money I gave you earlier, which you may have to check up on. If someone can find out how much earlier, please.
Distributed 23 gold, 3 silver, and 12 copper.
Alright, so 23.42 was what I distributed so far, and there's some more stuff on Shelavasa. Alright, so it's 23.42 plus 48.3.
I put my money in an item, so the treasure that I have under my treasure is how much you distributed.
Okay, 23.42 plus 4, oh, that's 10, 58.3. 58.3, 2711, that's 8. 81.72 gold pieces. That's the total gold piece award. Additionally, there is a scroll of augury, and a scroll of absorb elements. Who wants those?
Is there anyone else that cast them?
Please, they go to the wizard.
Well, augury is a divine spell. Banesless cannot cast it. Only Emmerich can.
What about the shield? What's going on with that?
Ah, the shield. Just a moment. Alright, the shield is a sentinel shield. Let me identify. Alright, you should be able to read its description in the chat window. This oblong shield has an obvious eye motif with several eyes on its surface that occasionally blink. While holding the shield, you have advantage on initiative rolls and perception checks.
That's something I would definitely want, but I already have one magic item, so...
Well, anyone else speak up for it?
Well, I like it, but I mean...
Alright, if you have 0 magic items and want it, roll a d20. Alright, so far, Emmerich is the only one who has said anything, so... Going once. Going twice. Going thrice. Sold to Dawnbringer Emmerich, a sentinel shield. Dawnbringer. Enjoy. Oh, also, everyone gets 10 downtime, 1 renown, and you can all partake in your individual missions that you were here to originally define. So you've cleared the ruins of the foul cultists, so you can set about the work of excavating. Alright. For Poe, who sought ancient treasure, you can spend days searching for ancient treasure in the ruins. You roll a percentile die and add the number of days spent on this downtime activity to and compare it to this table. So open up this table from the chat window, and there is a button that looks like a D20, and next to that is a field that says plus 30 in it. Click on the plus 30 field and change it to the number of downtime days you are willing to spend looking for treasure. then press the D20 button and see what you're able to find.
Alright, I'll pass.
Pass, you don't want to look for treasure at all?
Well, if I spend 0 downtime, can I still roll?
No, you need to spend at least 1 downtime.
Yeah, I'll save my downtime for now.
Alrighty, so Poe decides, it's not worth it to look for ancient treasure. Banesless, who sought arcane secrets. You can spend 10 downtime days trying to poke through the what remains of the wizard's spire, and if you do, you will find something.
You know what? Not doing it seems a little lame, so I'm gonna spend one downtime day.
Okay.
Sorry about that. So that's 29.
Alright. Your hard work has paid off. You find ancient jewelry, a silver ring worth 1d6 times 5 gold pieces. So roll a d6. Alright, you can add 15 gold pieces to your character sheet.
That's actually pretty worth it. Alright, thanks.
Banesless, do you wish to spend 10 downtime days looking for arcane secrets?
Sure.
Alright. Then you, poking through those stairs, clearing the stairs that you found at the tower, you find a small hidden library. Inside is a book of particular note. It appears to be a book listing or containing a number of ancient arcane secrets. You can add this story award to your character sheet. You may invoke the book's teachings at any point in the future, providing a 1d4 bonus to a single spell attack roll, or a 1d4 penalty to the saving throw of any spell you cast against a member of the Cult of the Crushing Wave or their allies. Remove the story award from your adventure log sheet once it has been used. Alright, Dawnbringer Emmerich, who sought holy texts. Do you wish to follow Lathander's light down the steps you found in the Temple of All Gods?
It's going to cost me 10 downtime?
Yes.
Oh, might as well use my only 10. Let's do it.
Alright. You follow Lathander's light down into the bottom of the Temple of All Gods, and you find it. The hidden library of Fort Dalton. Inside are the missing holy texts that your order sent you to find. If you, upon contemplating the text, you receive a holy blessing. It provides a 1d4 bonus to a single allied creature within 30 feet of you to any single ability check, attack roll, or saving throw against a member of the Cult of the Crushing Wave or their allies. Once you use it, you remove the story award from your character sheet. Oh, and the way to add story awards to the character sheet is you can just drag the little dragon head into the notes section of your character sheet, and it should copy the text out. Alright, that's 3 of the quests. Furtim was looking for a missing loved one. Furtim, you unfortunately did not find your missing... Oh, maybe fortunately, since many of them were undead. You did not find your missing loved one in this adventure, but from henceforth, anytime you find a captive humanoid or an undead creature, roll a d20, and on a roll of a 20, you have found your loved one. Once you find your loved one, you gain 100 experience points and cross this story award off your character sheet.
Where do I drag that?
It's not letting me drag it.
Let's see. Let me make sure I've shared it with you guys. Oh, yeah, I haven't shared it, I think. Let's try that now.
Yeah, it's not letting me drag the whole text.
Oh, boo. Let me see if I can do it. Notes.
Maybe if you unlock it, we can cut and paste it ourselves, like the actual words.
Oh, yeah. It's not doing that. Can you unlock it? Can you, do you have the lock symbol at the top right?
Read only. Yeah, it says read only, run lock.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I will copy the or I'll copy the text into the chat window so you can copy it. You can copy any text from the chat window simply by right-clicking it. That's the holy text one. That's the arcane secrets one. And there's the missing loved one. Missing loved one. Alright. Good job, guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Keith. You
man.
did a great job. I don't think you shared your DCI number. I'm not sure.
That's in the message of the day. I'll paste it into the chat window. For your log sheet. This is DDEX2-12, Dark Rites at Fort Dalton. I am DM Keaton. That is my DCI number. And after the game, you can find your character sheets on this drive. I will store them there so you don't have to manually rebuild them.
Is there a source that has all the codes you use to help me create my abilities?
Yes. Alright, here is the page on how to implement effects in Fantasy Grounds. And with
you
that,
put this up on a YouTube page afterwards?
yeah, I'm going to be putting this on YouTube.